Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for NBA on Friday, January 14th, 2022. We got NBA player prop spreads over-unders here for you today. My name is Steve and we're going to have 5 picks that I think are great value bets for the Friday NBA slate. As always, just want to thank you all for your continued support on the channel. If you're new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, please also consider hitting that like button as well. It really does help us out. Be sure to also check out our community Discord page. It's a great place to connect with our community. We'll have a link down in the comment section and in the description where you can check that out. And also be sure to put your favorite pick down below in the comment section. If you like your pick included in our comment capper section, just be sure to put a star or an asterisk next to your pick. And we'll include your pick in the video if it hits. One last thing, guys. There is a join button down below. If you're interested in becoming a Straight Fire MVP and supporting the channel in that way, that button is down below. We'll also have the link in the description to that as well. Just wanted to let you guys know that it is there. There's some custom emojis with that and a badge that you get next to your name, and you'll get call-outs in our videos. So without further ado, let's get right into the results from the previous episode. So for our comment cappers, we had got to get the bag. Once again, dropping the heat in the chat, calling out the Oklahoma City Thunder spread versus the Brooklyn Nets. Cashed easy on that one. Thunder one going away. So great call out there from Gotta Get the Bag. As far as our stream results, we went 1 and 2. We were able to cash the under in the Pelicans Clippers game fairly easily in that one. We missed on our player props though. We missed on Steph Curry. He didn't even play the fourth quarter. Honestly, just struggled last night. The whole Warriors did. The Warriors were just horrible last night, guys. Any props you took for the Warriors had to be bad because they were atrocious last night. So obviously that one missed there as well. And then we also missed on the D'Angelo Russell over 7.5 assists. And unfortunately, Russell had a huge, not unfortunately, but Russell had a huge game last night, and we just missed his assist line. He was an absolute monster last night, though. I wish I just took his points or his points and assist line. But what can you do, guys? We're going to get after it today. We're going to get this 5-0. So let's get right into our picks. And number 1, we are going with the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 2.5 spread here versus the San Antonio Spurs at minus 110 odds. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are 14-7 and 1 on the road against the spread. That is obviously terrific. San Antonio Spurs 10-8 at home against the spread. That's also very solid. But coming into this game, I see a Cavs team that is just better all the way around right now than the San Antonio Spurs. The Cavs are 3rd in the NBA in defensive efficiency. The Spurs are 20th. The Spurs are actually worse on the defensive side at home for whatever reason. They actually play better defense on the road. Go figure. Spurs score 115.6 points per game at home. Cavs score 106.6 points per game on the road. Spurs allow 114 points per game at home. Cavs allow 102.5 points per game on the road. So obviously the Cavs are more focused on the defensive side. By the way, that 102.5 points per game on the road is a league best. They play some of the game's best defense. And we saw what they did in Utah the other night. They won by 20. I actually had the Cavs on the money line that night, and they won me a fat stack. So got to keep showing some love here to the Cavs. They've been absolutely phenomenal this season. Cavs have won the last 2 meetings here in San Antonio by an average of 16 points. Now, it's worth noting on that, they won the last meeting by 24. They won the previous meeting by 8, which was a overtime game. But overall, like I said, I see the Cavs here as much better. We got Derek White also here for the Spurs coming in questionable. So obviously that helps us if he can't play. And even if he can play, it might actually be better, to hurt team chemistry. White hasn't been in the lineup here in a little while, so that definitely could affect them coming in. Cavs here still nothing new on the injury front as far as from when we bet them last game. Still operating fairly healthy coming in. And, I had a chance to observe them versus the Jazz, and Stevens, the shooting guard, was phenomenal. So if they have him stepping up like that, they're so hard to stop. They didn't even need Darius Garland to score. And, honestly, to me, Garland is a stud. He can put up 25 to 30 on any given night. He's an absolute stud to me. So the fact that they didn't even need him to score and they still won by 20, that's also a great sign. On the season, Cavs also 13th in offensive efficiency, Spurs 17th. And, obviously love seeing that as far as many points as the Spurs score, at home. Still, their efficiency rating obviously down here. So, the last thing that I really loved when I looked at this, I'm like, I'm pretty sure the Cavs have played the toughest schedule in the NBA because I've been following them all year. They, on TeamRankings.com, Cavs have the highest rating for strength of schedule at number 1. Spurs are 16th. So Cavs have been battle tested all year, and they have played phenomenal all year. And they've covered spreads. They've won games. They still have a winning record at this point in the year, and that's impressive given their schedule. So love it there for our number 1 pick. We're going Cleveland Cavaliers minus 2.5 spread here versus the San Antonio Spurs at minus 110 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we're going with Seth Curry over 3.5 assists at minus 102 odds. Guys, it's the absolute dream. I was playing Seth Curry's line all the way up to 5.5 just about, and he was cashing every game for me. So 3.5, I think so. We're gonna play that. So let me tell you why here. Seth Curry, 14 out of his last 17 games has cashed this line. 14 out of 17. That is 14-3. That's incredible. That's just unbelievable. He's averaging 5.52 assists per game during that time frame. And he had 1 hook during that time frame where he had 3 assists, which was last game. So, which I think brought his line down, which I'm perfectly fine with. I was kind of honestly hoping for that in a lot of ways. Curry is also 9 out of his last 11, his last 11 games here to this line with Tyrese Maxey on the court. So I wanted to check how Tyrese Maxey, impacts his assist line. Not really that much. Actually, Maxey on the floor, he still does fine in that department. Like I said, they're still operating with the ball in Curry's hands a lot. He's honestly been a great playmaker here lately with the basketball. He's been scoring a lot. He's been assisting a lot. He's been very, very good. So 2 meetings here with the Celtics on the season. He's had assist games of 6 and 7 in 2 games versus the Celtics this year, so it's obviously very solid. He's averaging over 35 minutes a night, so we'd love to see that. Give us the opportunities. Now, the matchup is also the other thing, where you don't love to see it coming in. Celtics just allowing 3.9 assists per game to shooting guards. It's actually second best, and 6.8 assists to point guards. It's actually third best. Now, there's a chance here that Marcus Smart, the point guard for the Celtics, will be out, so obviously that would hurt them on the defensive end. But I'm not worried about that matchup stuff. We've already seen Curry versus the Celtics this year. He still had 2 very good assist games, right? He averaged 6.5 assists. That's 3 above this line. So he can accidentally fall into 4, regardless of the defense. This is just such a low line for him, and he's obviously shown himself to be very reliable and very capable, so we're going to take it again. So love it there for number 2 pick. Seth Curry over 3.5 assists here for the Philadelphia 76ers at minus 102 odds. Okay, and at number 3, we are rolling with Isaiah Stewart over 7.5 rebounds here for the Detroit Pistons at minus 102 odds. So Stewart is actually 12 out of 16 in his last 16 games to this line. He averaged 10 rebounds per game in the month of December. That is very impressive. Raptors allow the 12th most rebounds to centers on the season, so that's solid. Now, the one thing I'd be concerned about with this line is sometimes the Pistons have a tendency to go small, which could definitely limit Stewart's minutes. But even when he plays, 20 to 25 minutes, sometimes he still cashes this line. He had 32 minutes the last time he played the Raptors, the last game. He did have just, the 4 rebounds there in that game. Did have 20 points, though. I think that was kind of a statistical anomaly, the fact that they only got 4 boards. I definitely expect them to get more here in this game. Now, at home, Stewart also averages more rebounds per game at home. 8.5 rebounds per game at home versus 8 on the road. So we love seeing that. Like I said, the only thing I'm really worried about in this bet is if the Pistons decide to go small. It's the only thing that could, obviously concern me with this one. But overall, you can't ignore the success rate, guys. 75% in 16 games. That's a long period of success. He already had a 20-point game versus the Raptors earlier this season. So, and played 32 minutes in the game. So obviously, I love seeing that. But yeah, I love it there, guys. For number 3 pick, Isaiah Stewart over 7.5 rebounds here for the Detroit Pistons at minus 102 odds. Okay, and at number 4, we are rolling with the under 217 points in the Mavericks Grizzlies game at minus 110 odds. So coming into this game, the Grizzlies score 114.1 points per game at home. Mavericks score 105.3 points per game on the road. Grizzlies allow 107 points per game at home. Mavs allow 104.5 points per game on the road. So now if you average these out, you're left with an average of around 215 with all four of those factors average. So it puts us under the number, which is solid there. And then we consider the two meetings that we've already had between these two teams, which did not even go over, barely broke 200 points. One was 200 points on the dot. The other one was 187. So, that gives us about 20 points of margin if the games are about in that area again, which would be great, right? So, yeah, it's just hard to ignore. I've had a chance to observe these two teams defensively. I watch a lot of basketball. So, I've had a chance to watch some Mavericks games and some Grizzlies games, and they've been playing some stingy defense lately, both teams. And you consider the Grizzlies actually opened the season very poor defensively. I remember when I was doing early research on them, they were in the back of basketball in defensive efficiency. Well, they're actually up to 7th in defensive efficiency right now at this point in the season. The Grizzlies are. Mavericks are 8th in the NBA in defensive efficiency. So we love seeing that. Two teams inside the top 10. And then as far as pace of play, I also love seeing this as well. Grizzlies are 12th in pace of play, which isn't crazy high. And the Mavericks are 28th in pace of play. So again, the average goes out 20th, right? So that puts you in the back half of basketball for pace, which we love to see that for unders. And on the season, Mavs games have been absolute fire to the under on the year. Mavs games are 26-13-2 to the under on the season. Grizzlies are dead even, 21-21-2 to the under, because obviously their offense is very capable. But with the way the Mavs play defense, I think this will be, a gritty game. Definitely see the Grizzlies covering the spread here. I'm going to probably be playing that as well. I'm going to be following my guy there. Got to get the bag for the spread cover there on the Grizzlies. I think that's a great look. They've been an absolute wagon lately as well. Them and the Cavs. I love the Grizzlies to cover here as well. But loving the under, guys. Take it there for your number 4 pick. Under 217 points in the Mavericks-Grizzlies game at -110 odds. Okay, and finally at number 5, we are rolling with Nikola Vucevic. Over 10.5 rebounds here for the Chicago Bulls at -115 odds. So Vucevic is 7-3 in his last 10 games to this line. He's actually 0-3 in his last 3 games. So why do I like the over so much? Well, if you've had the chance to observe the Golden State Warriors, you'll understand that they have really struggled offensively, believe it or not. They have not, for whatever reason, they've gotten into an offensive funk where they just have not been able to score the basketball efficiently or effectively. And they're allowing 56 rebounds per game in their last 3 games. So they're throwing up a lot of bricks right now. And I think Vucevic will have a great opportunity here to be the beneficiary of that. So I actually love the fact that Vucevic has been cold. It's actually driven his line down. I believe his line was up in the 11.5, 12.5 range. So the fact that it's back at 10.5, definitely loving that. And Vucevic does have career success here versus the Golden State Warriors as well. He's cashed this line in 5 of his last 6 games versus the Warriors. The one loss he had 9 rebounds in 21 minutes. So obviously I see him playing more minutes than that. It was kind of an outlier statistically. Like I said, on the season, Golden State 22nd in rebounds allowed to centers at 15 per game. Now, that's when their offense was humming and playing a lot better. Like I said, recently here, they have been struggling and allowing more rebounds to centers. So we love to see that. I actually watched the Nuggets-Warriors game, a few weeks back. In that game, Jokic had 19 rebounds. Followed it up against the Jazz. Rudy Gobert for the Jazz had 19 rebounds as well. So I honestly just love this line, guys. I think Vucevic is an absolute beast there in the middle as far as grabbing rebounds. He's averaging 11.8 rebounds per game at home versus 10.5 on the road, so he averages more at home as well. So there's a lot to like here, honestly, for Vucevic. So love it there for number 5 pick, Nikola Vucevic, over 10.5 rebounds here for the Chicago Bulls at -115 odds. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We're trying to reach 1,500 subscribers here by the end of the week. If you're a returning viewer, please also consider hitting that like button as well, guys. It really does help us out. Be sure to check out our community Discord as well, guys. Our community is absolutely unbelievable. I just have to say that. It's been so much fun getting to know so many people here at the channel. And that really is the best part of all of this. We wouldn't be here without that. This channel wouldn't exist without that. So this really is a community channel, guys. That's what we focus on here. And honestly, you know, there's a lot of bettors in the Discord that have helped me out a lot and that are absolutely great at what they do. So check it out, guys. I appreciate all of you. I really do. Planning on doing another giveaway at 2,000 subscribers. So let's keep it rolling, guys. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's get this 5-0 today. Let's cash your bets today. Let me know what you're playing down in the comments. Other than that, it's going to do it for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Good luck on your bets. And we will catch you. We will catch you next time. Peace out.